You hear all these crazy stories about people getting rich, but how does it actually happen in today's world? I'm telling you, it's probably not what you think. Let's break down all the ways it can go down.
So, yeah, what's the secret? Is there some magic formula? Is it just a lucky break? Well, the truth is, it's kind of all of the above. And it's not just one thing, it really exists on a spectrum.
The best way to think about it is on this spectrum. On one end, you've got pure, unadulterated luck, like lottery-level luck. On the other end, it's all about the relentless, soul-crushing grind. And you know what? In between those two extremes, there is a whole lot of weird, wild, and pretty fascinating territory. So let's start at the easy end, shall we?
All right, this section is for the folks who just happen to be in the right place at the right time. And sometimes that right place was being born. First up, on the pure luck side, the inheritor. The rules to this game are super simple. Step 1, be born. That's it. That's the whole plan. No business proposals, no risky investments, just, spawning from someone who already did all the hard work. We're talking cosmic lottery level lucky here. I mean, it's gotta be hard to complain about a lack of purpose when you're driving a Lambo to a golf course on a Tuesday morning, right? For most of us, this path is, let's be real, totally closed. But it is the purest form of luck that exists.
Okay, so what if you weren't born rich, but you got incredibly, stupidly lucky later in life? Well then, you just might be the meme coin millionaire, which is a truly modern way to get rich.
Just look at how fast and completely absurd this is. You get a text late at night, you throw $100 at a coin literally named Boner, and a month later, poof, you're a multimillionaire. There was no strategy, no research, just pure dumb luck and timing. And of course, what's the first move? Obviously, you buy a new M4. And that brings us to a more, let's say, traditional form of luck, the gambler. This is the person who walks into a casino and somehow just bends the laws of probability to their will for a night. So it starts small, right? $100 on black, and it hits. Boom, you've doubled your money. Now, most of us, we'd walk away right there. But the gambler, they don't walk away. They let it all ride again and again. And you can just imagine the crowd gathering as that stack of chips gets bigger and bigger, hitting black over and over until that initial $100 is suddenly worth more than $800,000. The odds are just astronomical. And then, for one final, absolutely insane spin, you push the entire stack forward. The ball drops, it's black. Again, you've just turned $100 into over $1.5 million. That's not a strategy, my friend. That is a statistical miracle. Okay, the last archetype on the pure luck end of the spectrum is, well, it's a dark one. It's the long con, called the wait. The strategy is pretty cynical, but it's simple. Marry someone who's incredibly wealthy and much, much older. It's a cruel game of patience and probability. It's not glamorous, it's not ethical, but hey, if you make it to the finish line, it is undeniably effective. So, let's move into the middle of our spectrum. Welcome to the digital Wild West. This is where a massive amount of grind smashes right into an equally massive amount of luck. It's like walking a high wire with absolutely no safety net below you. And there is no better example of this high-risk world than the OnlyFans creator. The downside is catastrophic. Seriously, if this path doesn't work out, there is no soft landing. You have gone all in, publicly, and it's out there forever. But just look at the potential upside. I mean, the top 1% of creators are making more money than professional basketball players. It's insane. But for everyone else, that other 99%, they take that massive, massive personal risk for potentially nothing. It is the absolute definition of high risk, high reward. Then, of course, there's the influencer. This path starts with a serious grind. We're talking endless, cringy videos until something, finally, catches fire. Then luck takes over as the algorithm decides to bless you. Before you know it, you're making 10 grand for a single video, selling some knockoff t-shirts and blue light glasses. You're just playing the game.
Now, the entrepreneur also lives here in this messy middle ground, but their motivation isn't just about getting rich. No, for them, it's about avoiding something absolutely terrifying.
And that deep-seated fear is what pushes us firmly over to the grind end of our spectrum. These are the paths where luck is basically taken out of the equation, and it's all about relentless, disciplined, hard work. This slide shows such a fascinating contrast in mindset. The entrepreneur is running from something, that fear of rotting away in a cubicle for 40 years. But meanwhile, the average Joe is running towards that exact same life because for them, it represents stability, comfort, and security.
And hey, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. The average Joe path of playing it safe, go to school, get a good job, invest in your 401k, it works. By the time you retire at 65, you could have a net worth of around $1.8 million. It's not by a yacht money, but it's a comfortable life for sure.
But if that slow and steady path isn't really your style, there's the most extreme grinder of them all, the NPC, or non-player character. This person is all about extreme discipline.
The NPC's strategy is actually pretty simple. They aren't trying to live their best life now, in their 20s. They're trying to literally buy their freedom. They work relentlessly, sometimes 2 jobs. They live on next to nothing, and they budget every single penny. After 15 or 20 years of this intense grind, they're just done. Mortgages paid off, they have no debt, and their investments cover their simple life. They own their time.
So, there you have it. We've gone from the pure cosmic luck of the inheritor all the way to the pure disciplined grind of the NPC. We've seen gamblers, hustlers, entrepreneurs, and schemers. It really makes you stop and think.
Which brings us to the final and maybe the most crucial question of all. After seeing all these different paths, what does being rich truly mean to you? Is it about the number, having millions in the bank to buy whatever you want? Or is it about freedom, having just enough money so you never have to have a boss again and you own every single minute of your day? That's the real question, isn't it?